So we say our first one is what time? What time?
It says here 1 minute past 10, and then the next one is supposed to be at the end.
I don't know where to put it. So,
I did actually just test again because I don't understand
The sun's what's happening with you? Where every day. Are you every day now? Still studying.
Yeah, I started. That's why I'm.
So you guys all from Mitchell's Plain?
No,
Why do you look so familiar?
born and bred in Pontiac.
That's why. Because I'm from Buntyville. I told you she looks familiar. Yeah, but I've been out of Buntyville for a long, almost 30 years now.
Yeah, the
But
same.
where in
The same.
Buntyville were you?
David Prophet Street, I used to attend school at Pioneer Primary.
Yeah, I told you now. So no, I'm also from Buntyville. That's where I grew up.
Yes.
My hood.
Yes, definitely.
And you?
Mitchell's Plain.
It is a complaint.
No.
Using Buggies.
Yeah.
So where are you guys staying now?
In Goodwood.
Your daughter with you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so did you go to Pioneer? You taught at Pioneer.
I was at Pioneer now. I attended Pioneer Primary.
That's Calamus School, but that one the athletics every year.
There goes
Yeah,
the-
every year they, for some reason that school won every year.
We had
Don't
the
ask me
best-
how.
We had the best coach.
Smoke girl, yeah.
We had the best coach. The best principal that saw potential in the students. He was one of those. Janari, AJ Janari.
Are we going after the song?
An idea and then the intro.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna say that we interviewing you guys. For now, you don't speak. I'll bring you into the show. Actually, maybe they can just greet them. Anyway, yeah, just greet them. So you guys can just you're gonna obviously be the spokesperson for them, and the people know you already in studio. But we'll do the interview with them. Just got some big to. Can you just find out, ask her to check with the same Abraham if he's definitely coming on? What 5 minutes? Is he coming on? Okay, 5 minutes into the show. Yeah.
Just to confirm, you can take an ad break at the end of the hour or just before, if you feel like you want to break up the monotony.
Sorry?
You can take a break at the end of the hour or just before the end of the hour. It's up to
Well, I
you.
got my studio gate in, so when do you want me to take a break? A break, we're gonna go. Hussein Abrams will come on, he'll talk about 10, 12 minutes. Then we can start our interview. Quarter to. Let's go on a break at quarter to. Yeah,
Quarter to 10.
and then we go. Huh?
Okay,
Is that us?
that's good.
Radio 786. Hear the difference.
Okay, when it's red, we're live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Saturday Night's award-winning Sports Days. I'm your host Nazim White, and with me in the studio this evening, my co-presenter Eddie Beja is with me. Khalid Ali, he's got a day off, and Eddie will talk about why Khalid is off again. Also like to welcome my technical team of Hassan Kamil Din and Said Suma. And in front, we got Faisa Daniels. It's going to be a jam-packed show this evening. We've been away for a couple of weeks. We are back. And before we do anything else, we'd like to just wish all our Muslim listeners an Eid Mubarak. We sincerely hope that you had an absolutely joyous day with your family and friends. Eddie, you obviously were invited for lunch yesterday, but let me welcome you to the show.
Good evening, Nazim, and to technical team. Yes, indeed, Nazim was invited. I spent the day at the White House. I won't give the location away, but the White House in Athlone. Yeah, but it was great. Thank you again for the invite. I enjoyed my time with you and the family. And even tonight was a continuation of yesterday.
You're getting spoiled these days at the White House, but absolutely amazing to have you around yesterday. And to all our listeners, wherever you are this evening, a cold wintry evening ready to be heated up by the greatest sports show on a Saturday night. We sincerely hope that you're going to sit back and enjoy the greatest sports show on the planet on a Saturday night. You can be part of the show by calling us on 021 699 1786 or on the WhatsApp line 0786 10 11 12. Well, our special guest this evening is the nation, yes, the whole nation, the Get Fit Nation of Colleen, Glynis and Lyla Pland is in the studio with us. They're going to tell us all about how to get fit, where it all started, and the successes of what it has brought to lots of people. We always talk about veterans cricketers that has now come off the couch, and I think it's going to be interesting to hear what Colleen Cosette and her team got to talk about tonight. Let's welcome Colleen and the team this evening. Good evening, Colleen. Great to have you on this cold, wet Saturday night in the studio.
Good evening, Nazim, and Eddie, welcome to you, and welcome to the team as well. Thank you for having us. We would like to thank Glynis and being here. We're super excited to be here tonight. You can't believe it. The yellow family listener and the whole nation is listening to us. Thank you so much for it.
No, an absolute pleasure to have us. And we always say we only bring Khalid Ali. He's not with us this evening, but he would have told you we only bring champions on a Saturday night to the studio. And tonight is nothing different. Well, stay on Khalid Ali. Obviously, his leave tonight's got nothing to do with the Eid celebrations, Eddie. It's all about his dad, Ahmad Ali, and we want to wish him a happy birthday, and may the Almighty grant him many more happy and healthy years. And to all the Ali clan that is having a beautiful party out there, Khadija Ali is also there. Make sure that Ahmad Ali is that special person tonight. Khalid, just a small platter tonight. Please take it easy because we know it is a long month of Ramadan. But I'm sure you're going to have an absolutely magnificent evening with your dad. All the best this evening to the Ali family out in Ottery. Eddie, so much happened while we were away. The IPL was cancelled. Cricket South Africa sorted out their problems in the boardroom. And Chelsea and Manchester City will contest the Champions League final in Porto and not Istanbul, as COVID-19 has locked down the country completely. So lots to talk about. We'll talk about the Stormers that came back today, the Silver Arrows of Hamilton and Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. So much happened over this last couple of weeks. And it also now looks like we're going to have a new technician with us. So you in the blink of an eye, the world changes, Eddie.
No, definitely, Nazim. And it is for the better, of course. You know, change is good. And also our studio is here tonight, you know. I told him earlier on, just before the show, that we always get invited, you know. And I think we're going to get another invite, Nazim. They already spoke about the 29th of May, but Colin will tell us more about the 29th of May.
I only go if Jacob's Ladder is included. I've done Jacob's Ladder twice with ease, so that's easy for me.
No,
I lead them up Jacob's Ladder, actually. So we'll do that. It's actually a good invite to go on. But yeah, absolutely amazing. And let us not forget that in a couple of minutes, we're going to speak to our leading sports correspondent, Hussein Abrams, when he's on air. And I'm sure he's got lots to talk about a miserable week for Manchester United. They lost against Leicester City on Tuesday, 2-1 at Old Trafford with their, what we call their B team. And then Liverpool, the ex-champions, they made a turn at Old Trafford.
on Thursday, and for all United fans, it was a dismal performance, and it looked like the Liverpool of already.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't know what to say about the game, but it was a good comeback for them, and it augurs well for their prospects for next year or for the next season. We know the up and down season that I had, and they're fighting for a place in the top four still to play Champions League. Um, but yeah, Jurgen Klopp is obviously very glad, for the result that went his way. But also probably some criticism on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for selecting a B team. I think it was on Tuesday night, and you know, just on social media you could see the reaction, and I still believe that for every game, despite the 3 games that we had to play in 5 days, you try to play your best team as possible, And we know obviously the captain is out, so our defense, Harry Maguire, so our defense was a bit suspect, and it proved on Thursday night.
No, absolutely. And let's not forget, today it was a Tillemans thunderbolt that sent Leicester City to win the FA Cup against Chelsea, who's in the Champions League final. So it was the first victory for Leicester City in an FA Cup game. And what a place to choose at the home of English football at Wembley this afternoon, Eddie. We watched part of that game. It was a game that Chelsea dominated the first half, and Leicester City came back in the second half, and it was a thunderbolt from Yuri Tillemans that send the Foxes to victory. And I think it's just a good result for them. The trauma they went through a couple of years ago, losing their owner in the helicopter crash in front of the stadium, and you could see the sadness of it, or it was most probably happiness on the face of the sun this afternoon when they won the FA Cup. So it was good for Leicester City, and they've been knocking on the door. We know in Ranieri's when they won the league against all odds a couple of seasons ago. So Leicester City is a force in English football, and they just need to win a couple of games to secure their Champions League spot. They play Chelsea again in the week at Stamford Bridge, or like another final for the two teams for Champions League football. So lots to talk about over there. But well done to Leicester City for winning the FA Cup. And I'm sure they would now try to get Champions League qualification. So for our listeners out there, if you want to be part of the show, just give us a call on 0216991786. If you are listening to the award-winning Sports Desk, South Nazim White and Eddie Badger is in the studio this evening. And then Manchester City, the champions of England, 3 titles in 4 years. And I said to some Manchester United supporters that that they need to get some players because Manchester City streaks ahead at the moment of all the other clubs in England.
Yes, and probably the only true support in Cape Town of Man City, Vincent Barnes. I must congratulate him.
And Clinton Ravens.
And Clinton Ravens, yes, of course. But Nazim, it was evident all season long the dominance of Manchester, especially now when they from January onwards. We thought that United would be able to challenge them all the way, but a couple of losses for United gave them the edge, and like they say, when they lost against Leicester, they were crowned champions.
It's just that I don't think United is ready to win the English Premier League. They got too many shortcomings in different positions, so we'll have to see what the Glazers are going to fork out from the transfer market. You see, there was a protest a couple of weeks ago. Let's hope that they now spend to make United the fourth or in the years of Alex Ferguson. Let's quickly stay with Manchester City before we join Hussein Abrams. The question remains, Eddie, will Pep Guardiola reward the Sheikh owners with the Holy Grail, the Champions League, come the 29th of May against Chelsea? So that is still eluding the team of the noisy neighbours, like Alex Ferguson would say.
Look, it's in the English soccer, it's first, for everything. Leicester won the first FA Cup today, so I'm sure that Man City will pull it off on the 29th of May. Just looking at the quality football they play, nothing else But, I'm sure they can click upon my
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go to Hussein Abrams. I'm sure he's been itching to chat to us. There's so much to talk about this evening. Assalamu alaikum, Husseini, and welcome to the greatest sports show on the planet. Planet Earth or Planet Mars? Yeah. Chelsea. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially if you lost the final. Mm-hmm. Followed. Yeah. Yeah. British Lions squad, yeah. The Sharks guy, the guy who played for the Sharks, yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally agree with you on that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's only let's stay with countries. And last week, or yeah, I think it was last week, when myself and Eddie was on the afternoon show, we spoke about India, and both of you said that the tournament should be cancelled. I had my views, but I think in the end the decision was the right one. Eventually, it was cancelled. That because of the numbers in and what's happening outside the bubble, and I think the main reason was that people in the bubble eventually got infected with the virus, and yeah. Yeah, no, they all back now. South African players, they all got back. And then Vitasani, I want to stay with well, not stay with cricket, but Molefi Nisiki. He was sacked by Bafana, and then Hugo Broos go tell the nation that he's the new assistant. What a joke! Yeah, 18 months they're giving him, exactly 18 months. he, 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 he says he is he says it can't be a disappointment if we don't make 2022. So what does he want us to do from a soccer perspective? We want to be at the World Cup. We want to have that feeling of 2010 when Shabalala put it on the top corner in the opening game against France, isn't it? Or was it Mexico? Mexico. So how can this guy come in and says that it could not happen that we won't qualify for the World Cup? Yeah, mandate.
Dasani, yes, I But I want to ask because I knew why fire the coat and then iron again, yeah. What's the logic in that?
And what happened to our Benny McCarthy? And they now say he wanted 1.5 million a month. There were some other demands that he made, but I still think he would have been the perfect choice. And Benny would have said, "No, we will make 2022." He's already telling the nation he's not 100% sure if he's going to be successful. He now wants us to have patience with him. Yeah, he tried to sound very confident, but what came out of his mouth was very negative, actually, to put it that way. But Asani, let's go to Old Trafford Thursday night. What happened to Manchester United? And I didn't even think it was necessary to be on top of my highlights this evening to open the show with the United being crushed by Liverpool. Champions League. But the same, yeah. But Asani, I never wish you Eid Mubarak. Actually, I wish the nation or the world Eid Mubarak. But I want to say to you on air, I hope you had a lovely day with your family yesterday. Inshallah, inshallah, Ameen. Yeah. But Asania, I don't have Khalid Ali, my expert on Formula One, in the studio this evening. But maybe your better half there can tell me about what's happening there. so, 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 so it looks like it's going to be a two-horse race between the Silver Arrows and Max Verstappen's Red Bull, because Ferrari is hanging fourth place, trying to push into the podium positions. But that Hamilton guy is something special, eh? Yes. Mercedes. Yeah, and I think if Hamilton wants to prove something, he should join another another team, to put it that way, to test his skills with maybe a McLaren, or just to see a car that is not so quick. How will he then perform? Because you need to test your skills, because currently it's the car that is pushing him to those victories. But Dasani, we're going to say goodbye to you. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Well, that's why we're trying to heat up our sporting nation on this cold wintry evening. And I can tell you, our studio guest is the Get Fit Nation, Colleen Cosette, and I tell you, Batasani, these three ladies came with their outfits like they're going to run, tights and the whole kit here, fitness kit. I don't think we're going to have a live fitness session in the studio, but I think they're going to keep myself and Eddie on our toes tonight. We are talking to the Get Fit Nation with Asani. I think it's going to be an interesting discussion in the next couple of minutes. But Asani, you must keep warm. Look after yourself and your family. It's awesome chatting to you again.
Bye-bye.
Alaikum salam. And that's Hussein Abrams, our resident sports correspondent, bringing us up to date. What's happening in the world of sport. And I always said to you and Khalid, when it comes to Manchester United, he's got a soft spot. When I mentioned the 4-2, he just changed the subject. You didn't want to hear anything about that crushing defeat on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he always pretends to support Arsenal, but we know that he's a United fan.
Yeah, he's like Superman, they go to work and then they pull open their shirt and it says Superman. So when he does that, it says Manchester United. He is the Superman of Manchester United. But Eddie, let's stay with that game, and just from a Liverpool supporter's perspective, your friend Razina Ali was onto it. Final whistle. I just see something on Facebook. Razina Ali posted, yeah, 4-2, it was and I had to, on the Montrose group, I had to congratulate him before he started putting nasty stuff on about Manchester, and I said, well done, Brazil. And also said to Billy Bonds and Clinton, they deserved it. But it's that Brazil Ali, he's got tell you, he's got it in for your team.
Yeah, and then obviously Bennett Bailey, he's also the little foxes of United.
That's another one. Well, he will always be remembered for his famous words. I don't know who these Yakults is. And then that Yakults is spoiled his day. Mason Greenwood on United. But yeah, it was a comprehensive victory for Liverpool Football Club. They look like the champions of all. And I still say with Van Dijk and a couple of injuries coming back, they will be up there again challenging the Manchester City. And I hope Manchester United and Chelsea look a good team suddenly. It's going to be interesting to see what is happening in the next couple of months when the transfer market opens up. Awesome. I just want you to talk about that article that we spoke about. If you want to, about the gentleman, yeah, you got that one about what is his name, Mr. Muhammad Butakasim, the ice cream man at Newlands, for many years at rugby and cricket, and I think he's not in the best of health.
Yeah, it's sad to hear about his health not being in a good space at the moment. But Western Province Cricket Association has organized an event for him that's coming Wednesday at Newlands, the 19th of May at 11 o'clock. But it's just to pay tribute to the ice cream man for his 50 years of service. To quote two of his famous sayings, a lolly to make you jolly, and a sucker to keep you wakker.
Yeah.
It resonated around Newland Stadium, and there's also many other sayings that he made famous throughout the years. But we pray that the Almighty will grant him good recovery from his medical setback.
Well, he's an awesome. I think he became a character. The Eddie Barlows, all of those people know him, and I'm sure rugby players as well. Wherever he went, not only think the players, I think everybody who frequented Newlands cricket ground and the rugby ground knows this gentleman. And I think just like you say, he's the way he went to his customers, he made them happy. I think any sports fan in Cape Town knows him, and we hope that he gets better. And also from a family point of view, he was an absolutely joy to the people at Newland, and we'll miss him, even if he misses his presence at the sports venues around Cape Town, and we hope he gets better, inshallah. And also, like I said, he's been an icon in sports. Well, Eddie, we're about 5 minutes away from going on a break, and when we come back, Eddie, we're going to chat to Colleen Cosette and her team of Glynis and Lyla Pland and find out what they all about. But you mentioned earlier about the invites, the Irfan Abramses, the Faisal Jacobs, them who always invite us to a 5 kilometer run or run part of the 21K with Irfan Abrams, and we're still going to do that.
Yes.
And I also want to tell you that I was invited to go on a Booba run. So the Booba run was basically under the not so fortunate people that they make food for in Booba, and you go with Irfan Abrams, and Faisal actually called me the other day. I didn't go, but those are stuff that I want us to get involved with. And remember, we are the official broadcaster for the 50 for 50 half marathons with Irfan Abrams and Faisal. They support Change. Obviously, that initiative is to raise as many school shoes for underprivileged kids for 2022. And if you still want to donate, it's easy. Just get hold of Lace Up for Change. Faisal Jacobs is your contact person, and do your bit to ensure that every child will have a pair of shoes. While most of the children that they are in the country, quite a bit of shoes they're looking for. But what an initiative! And Irfan Abrams had a month off from running. I think he's starting again next week on race number 15 out of the 50. It's gonna be, and we'll talk to Colleen about that initiative. Maybe she and her team can be also part of that. I think the more the merrier, and it's all for a good cause. So lots to talk about. Eddie Benny McCarthy's Morocco slipped up against, or Benny McCarthy's Amazulu slipped up against Morocco 1-0. They are now 3 points behind Sundowns, with the Sundowns got a game in hand. And it looked like if it's the team from Attridgeville is going to be champions again.
Yes, definitely. Despite the setback of Amazulu, I think for them to actually, well, it's close to the end of the season, and it's a pity that they slip up against Morocco. But if they at least finish in the top 4, that's going to be important for them at this stage.
Yeah, I think when Benny McCarthy took the job, he was asked to get them into the top 8, and I think he almost did the virtually impossible by winning it. Yeah. But I think Benny has really found his groove again down in Durban, and we never know what Mr. Hugo Bruce. I don't know what the man interview was all about the other day, but if he's not going to last, I think we need to look at. And if Benny McCarthy wants 1.5 million a month, then pay the man 1.5 million. You've been paying coaches so much money, no improvement. He wants to appoint the former coach because he knows players in South Africa. Do you only know the players then that he picked, and they couldn't do anything? So why you stick with a losing coach and say he must be your second in charge? I just don't see how where did they find this Mr. Bruce, by the way? I don't expect you to answer that, but maybe somebody who's listening can call in and tell us where he's from. Because I don't know how long Bruce is gonna last. Bread only lasts for a couple of days and then it goes green. So we hope it doesn't happen to the new Bafana.
The Afrikaans meaning of Bruce is fred.
Oh, then I'm very worried about our national soccer team. And then also I see the cricket team will go to the West Indies. Hopefully that is going to take place because we dropped down to 7th in the rankings. But we'll chat about that a bit later in the program. We're going to go for a break, and when we come back, we're chatting to the Get Fit Nation of Colleen Cosette, Glynis Glynis Pland and Lyla Pland is in the studio with us, and we're looking forward to that discussion. Stay with us. Okay, we're gonna be with you guys now. Yeah. Was raak een beetje mal. Ja. Wat zijn we gonna miss you?
You don't mind if your mother sits next to me. No, don't tell your father. No, I'll put it around. Oh, okay.
Should you wish to bring this to our attention, submit your complaint within 7 days of which your complaint is based. You can email your complaint to admin@radio786.co.za or post it to Second Floor Market Centre.
No, okay, if you're going back to that, we just, I don't know if we're going to be back to
Complaint has been received. Radio 786 will respond to your complaint in writing within 3 days of receipt. If you are not satisfied with the way your complaint
Glynis is going to be there.
Yeah.
Lyla, when I speak to you, speak into that mic, Lyla. It is so easy to talk on the mic. I'm doing it for 11 years. Eddie, how long you with me now? 8? Khalid is 10 years with me. Do you know, Sid, how long I'm doing this program? 7? Huh? You almost said you thought this was the... He thought the Friday night was the only sports show.
I did.
Then you suddenly realize, but the benchmark is higher here. Okay, so Lyla and Glynis, now when we go out, I'll speak to Colleen again quickly, but then when I introduce you guys, you've got to say something now, eh? So whatever you want to say, glad to be here, hello Lizzie, hello Eddie.
Exissimo, welcome. Welcome and welcome.
You can say, it's great to see when you guys go to work. We make it exciting, man. That's the only way we enjoy. We can't come here every Saturday and just...
family members. Do you know the conditions when Zakah becomes due? The South African National Zakah Fund is well poised to advise you. We have an established team of learned scholars and advisors who can provide you with effective one-on-one Zakah consultation sessions. Assisting members of the public family.
That's why I said I would buy that
We're going to go straight in because the nation is waiting for them to come. Millions of them, the whole group listening.
Everybody.
So it's good to mention people's names
Yes.
that in your... I
That
see
I
this
know.
guy, he always posts on Facebook, but I think he belongs to, he does his own walks. And then
Stephen
Yes.
Kluti. So Stephen Kluti, very supportive. One of our he's also one of our admins. Glynis is one of our admins.
So you are a proper, almost like a club.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a club, and what I do is, of course, there are groups that are they already doing walking groups.
So we're going to talk off the cuff, we talk everything, it's all about fitness, and yeah, we will throw the questions around. Okay, when it's red, we live, guys.
Ready?
Welcome back to Saturday Night's award-winning sports show, the greatest sports show on the planet on a Saturday night. I'm your host, Nazim White. And with me in the studio, my co-presenter, Eddie Bedja. Ali Dali, he's off for the evening, and I wonder if the music is rocking down in Ottery. You imagine Khadija on the dance floor this evening, Eddie.
That's a sight to behold.
It's a sight to behold. Maybe Khalid can send us some pics, and he should have spoken earlier. We could have taken this as an outside broadcast, Hassan and Saeed, to Ottery this evening, and it would have been awesome. But I'm sure they're having a good time, the Ali family, and I sincerely hope that it's going well with Ahmad Ali on his birthday. Well, it's that time of the night when our studio guests come in play. And tonight it is the Get Fit Nation of Colleen Kazet, Glynis Pland, and Lyla Pland is with us in the studio. Ladies, good evening. Absolutely amazing for you guys to come out on this cold Saturday night to come tell us all about the Get Fit Nation. Good evening.
Good evening, Nazim. Good evening, Eddie.
Hi, good evening, Nazim, Eddie, and the rest of the technical team. Thank you for having us here.
Good evening, Nazim. Good evening, Evie. And thank you for having us here. It's been a good experience.
Oh, the experience is going to start now, Layla. Awesome to have you guys. Get Fit Nation has been around for a while now. It's on social media. I've joined the group, to put it that way, so I know a bit of what you guys doing. We haven't joined you guys on one of those walks and runs and Jacob's Ladder, but
you joined.
yeah, we didn't join the exercises yet.
No, yeah, because remember you joined the running club here across the road.
No, but I ran a race and I beat you. I beat you in that Freedom Day race. Do you remember that? Yeah. But Colin, absolutely amazing to have you. I always watch your fitness sessions where you obviously go live on Facebook and get your people to get involved. But what I want to know is that where did this all start? Why did Colin Kazet decide to call the Get Fit Nation? And it's an absolutely amazing name. It's like you're calling the nation and say, come on, let's get fit. Where did it all start for you?
So it definitely started for me. I would say in 2016, I lost my sister, and then I stopped all my activities because I really think it just broke my heart. And I think it was a sense of hopelessness for me. Come fast forward to 2020, and I had COVID from the 23rd of December till the 31st of December. And I tell you, my life flashed, and I was looking back and just what is the next step for me. And actually something Nazim had on one of his statuses this past week that said, reinvent yourself. And I asked myself, what is the next step? And in hopefulness that I can take forward. And with what I have been doing as a student, doing my doctorate in fitness, how can I be putting a message out there and making a difference? And I'm not living that life myself. And so on the 16th of January, it was my sister's, it was the anniversary of the day she passed on. And that day I wanted to start with the celebration of her life and move forward. And I then started the Facebook group with one member. And I said to myself, van hier toe en nie verder nie. The fact that that nation is there waiting for me every morning at 5:30, it means I am committed. I know what I must do. I'm there every day. And before I knew it, in 6 weeks, I had 600 people. And now we have over 1,000 people. And we've been active for 17 weeks. We've got YouTube live channels happening. There is active sessions happening. We've got walk groups happening. And it's more than just a fitness group. It's now become where families are brought together. It's a place where people can live out their adventures. We have people doing hiking. There's golfers, there's swimmers, triathletes, bikers on the group, as well as we are even having the walking groups where we have the MITS group with Mel and her team that joined us from Mitchell's Plain. We had the walking buddies with Auntie Stina Hulle is there, and Karen Hulle is in that group. And then we also have the Fulak group that is in Brackenfell, where Charles Fuller is one of the members, another inspirational story.
He's a former Liverpool football player.
He's such an inspiration, and I actually met him at the cancer relay. And you know what? It is just bringing everybody together, and without knowing it, we have such amazing members. Nazim is one of them, and our members are making things happen for us. And just a little snippet, when Nazim walked in behind me now, I was thinking, yes, like God, you. Word I stem. All I can picture is him singing to dream the impossible dream. That's what I picture.
I'm in the wrong profession here, guys.
He's got the voice. And then you go out into these groups. Every day is an adventure. No hopelessness, uplifting others, encouraging, meeting people like Glynis and Lyla. And that is what it's been for me.
Oh, absolutely. Glynis, you've got so much to talk to us about. I want to talk to you a bit later in this interview about the successes of your group. How did you manage to get all these people on board? But you're going to tell us all about that in a couple of minutes. I want to go to Glynis and to Layla now. Glynis, mom and daughter. What inspired you to join the Get Fit Nation?
I think coming from a sporting background as well, it seemed very important for me to continue with my fitness and also to encourage my daughter to and also to just to encourage her to do better every day. Um, and we live in a society where there's a breakdown in families, and for me, it's important as a mother and a daughter to create memories, to do things together, and I think that will just it will strengthen the bond, but also to inspire other young women. What we want to do is change the mindset of women and also to empower them, because so many times we find women and even young girls who are overweight, and that then becomes they become despondent, they become discouraged, they give up on life. So we're just out there. We want to tell them you can make a difference. We want to make a difference. We want to help you make a difference. And we want to start these little groups in all the areas, in all the communities, and tell them just come out, spend some time with us, build bonds, meet people. We've met amazing people. I'm privileged to be a part of this group. I mean, part of Colleen's group. Every Saturday going out there. And like with Lyla studying now, also doing her personal training, to encourage her, to support her. That's what it's all about. Because at this age, teenagers don't want to be with their moms anymore.
No, stunning. And I think you mentioned about family bonds, and we see it so many times that,
Yes,
that there's so many disruption in families,
definitely.
people, and we talk about fitness, but people don't even talk to each other. They don't visit their
Yes,
families, and it's sad to see that. And you want to bring it together with obviously from a fitness point of view.
yeah, and it's affordable as well. I mean, there's so many families that can't afford a gym membership. So on a Saturday morning, instead of like you going and doing your thing while your children are doing their thing, come and join us. Make it a family outing. Because by the time we're done, it's 9 o'clock. You still have the rest of the day to yourself.
Absolutely. Let me go to your daughter, and it's Lyla. Yeah, my daughter's name is Layla. Your name is Lyla. Lyla, so you're doing this with mom. Was it difficult when mom said, "Let's do this together"? Did you jump immediately and says, "Yes, I want to be with you every Saturday or every Sunday"? Tell me, how did you get involved, and what makes it so special for you to be part of this amazing team?
So basically, like my mom thinks that I'm from a family that's in sports, like my grandfather, uncles, everybody. So for me, it wasn't that difficult to actually get into like a fitness group, as I'm already studying personal training and conditioning. So it will just be able to help me learn more and experience more. And my colleague is a great role model because she's been studying sports science, and I believe that by learning from her, I'll be able to get myself in.
Oh, that's so awesome, Eddie. Once again, this is woman power, and if you saw the flyer, it says inspirational woman that we've marked it down for tonight. We haven't even started this interview, and it's goosebumps already. What's happening in the studio this evening?
Yeah, definitely, Nazim. But I'm just disappointed that you, the only person that got a membership, free membership. But I'm sure after this interview, I will get my membership from Colleen. But no, but jokes aside, it's a brilliant initiative. You know, we interviewed so many people, community people over time, and the fact that your reach is quite wide, it's encouraging. So because sometimes because of COVID and the safety factor, people just want to focus on their area,
Yes.
because they feel safe in the area. But for you to reach out, and it means a nation, so you need to
Yes.
reach out to the nation, even if it's a Western Cape nation. But it's a brilliant initiative, Nazim, and I'm sure we're due for a follow-up interview.
No, definitely. But I think the interview actually really going to start now with Colin. So Colin, you started with one person. I see it's about 1.1 people that's in your team at the moment. Let's call it a team because that's what it's all about. But tell me, where or how did you decide on the name? It is such a catchphrase, Get
Yes.
Fit Nation. It's like you talking to everybody in South Africa.
That's correct. Because with my PhD study, I focus on developing guidelines for children, but the parent needs to be involved. So in many households, the grandmother is also
Yeah.
that person that is guiding that household. And I've seen that by bringing people together, the children, it's a natural thing. So I wanted to put my reach out there and make it a get fit, but also including the family, which is the nation and the
Okay,
community.
okay.
And I started, you will notice, in Mitchell's Plain, because that's where I'm from, Edie and Nazim.
Yeah, so Nazim, PhD, so means we need to address her as doctor.
Not
Doctor.
yet.
Dr. Colleen.
Was it a PhD in the making?
That's right.
Not like
It's
the
this,
DA.
But
this one,
in the
this
follow-up
one. A
interview, we'll,
Sony.
but the follow-up interview, we'll call
We
you
will.
doctor.
We will.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
will let you know the moment it's done. This is actually the last month or two. It's crunch time. And I really think when we had our final session as a group of doctors to be, one of the profs asked us there, so what's your plan? And when we said, but we done now. Said, no, girl, you're not done. You must begin now. What are you going to do to make a difference? And this is it.
Tell me, Colleen, 1,100 members
Yes.
at the moment. You started with one. Talk to me about how did you manage to get so many people on board in such a short time?
I did that with the help of members. And you know what? Just the way we encourage people on the group as well. It is about when we're not putting anybody down, we're uplifting, we're sharing what you're doing. If you're doing a sit up challenge, we're joining you, we're checking on your progress. So every day we would have check ins, people share their adventures. And we had members on our group that was instrumental in making our group develop and grow. People like Clyde van Graan, people like Stephen Kluti, who is doing the kings and queens of the mountains, people like Margot, and people who are like Glynis, who are there out there, and you will actually see on our group, you can see who has been invited by who. There's some of our people like Auntie Hajira invited over 200 members. 200 members joined because of one person. That
Yeah.
is how we made the group grow. It's not a one person deal.
Glynis, I want to go back to you. We obviously come from the same hood, Bonteheuwel. So many influential people come from Bonteheuwel, and not academics only, but sport people. We always say to our studio guest that the first Bafana captain came from Bonteheuwel, Calvin Peterson.
Yes,
Stayed in
definitely.
Jasmine Street in
Yes.
close to Arcadia High School. Bonteheuwel is such a unique township that
Definitely.
that has produced so many. Let's talk about influential people. We don't even want to talk about the activist guys like Ashley Creel and all Colleen Williams or all those people. But from a sporting perspective, it's always been on the radar from producing
Yes.
quality people. How do you? I know you're not in Bonteheuwel anymore, but how does your where you grew up? How does that Bonteheuwel really affects what you would like to achieve in what you're doing in the Get Fit Nation?
If I think back to the times when I lived in Bonteheuwel and what Bonteheuwel stood for, like we said now, just not a sporting nation, but also a political nation. If I think of my cousin Zelda Halsman,
Yes.
very, very active in Bonteheuwel. And I think of my father. My father was one of the first boxing coaches in Bonteheuwel to establish a boxing club at the community center. And it was never about money. It was about uplifting people. And I always tell Lyle also when we drive through Bonteheuwel, the Bonteheuwel today, I'm never scared of Bonteheuwel. People will say they fear Bonteheuwel.
Yes.
I don't fear Bonteheuwel because there's a lot of good in Bonteheuwel. There is talent in Bonteheuwel. Like I believe there's talent in any other of our areas. That's where talent comes from. And that is inspiring me and driving me to do better. If I can change one person's life a day, that's my greatest achievement. And that's what I want to give. I want to give back to Bonteheuwel what Bonteheuwel gave me.
Absolutely stunning. It's so sweet the words you use about. I mean, I was born and bred in Bonteheuwel. close to the swimming baths. That's where I came from. I spent my whole sporting life at Metropolitan,
Yes.
played football for Sea Point Swerves, was involved in the cricket club there as well. Then I moved away from that cricket club. But I don't think you ever, and I think Eddie will agree with this, where you're born, that is what you always go back for, because that is, it's those places that made who you are today.
Definitely.
And I'm just proud to tell everybody, when they ask me where you're from, I'm from Bonteheuwel.
Yes.
It was the most one of the townships that everybody wanted to live in,
Definitely.
because you could walk at night, you
Yes.
could do so much stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's totally different, but it doesn't mean it's a bad place. You've got to go back there and try to help
Yes.
and change the narrative of how people think, especially the youngsters. No, it's difficult, but if you're from a township, it's obviously you would like to give back into that township, Eddie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I come from, was raised in Elsiersriver. And oh, you too.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a little place
So
called
Bonteheuwel is a bit better than Elsie.
No, no,
What I
no,
say.
no, no,
No, I just thought I'll
Two
throw it out
Elsies
there.
ever.
No,
Colleen and Eddie.
I just want to say, I just want to say, I don't want to bring the race in, but we are the first colored male athlete who jumped 7 meters back in the 80s, and it happens to be my brother. You know, they jumped 7 meters. It was challenging at the time, you know, with the facilities and all of that, and the lack of proper coaching.
Oh, well done, Eddie.
Yeah, and that was at school. Yeah, when he achieved that. But the point that I want to make is, yes, I myself, being a sports person, and early on in my life, saw the challenges with the lack of facilities in our areas, and the sport. I played rugby, but eventually when I finished school, I decided to take up running, you know, just do the fun run and all of that. But then eventually I ended up in middle distance running, but also I had to go out of the area. But I'd like to go back to the area and make a significant contribution, especially with athletics, even if it's at school level or so. But I just need to like Colleen, get the ball rolling and then go back.
No,
to the
Eddie,
area.
you need to join Get Fit Nation.
Yes,
There's
Eddie.
no ball rolling. You just join the nation,
No,
and then
nothing.
you're in it.
No, I said after the interview, then my membership.
It's
No?
obvious.
But you know why Colin don't have a hard time with me for not joining them? Because I talk about it.
Yes,
All the time.
I'm on the group there, and I'm busy, and then I'm busy. My arms are moving, so my body's moving then. You know.
Yeah, no. You always had a head start, you know, when it comes to the what do you call it, the running club across the road. Yeah,
Not just.
he had his outfit, you know, long green socks, all of it.
Did
you
he
know?
do the pressures?
And I think, and I think Khalid got a knee injury just because of the head start that he got. Yeah.
No, but let's go back to Get Fit Nation, and obviously it grew so quickly.
Yes.
And now tell me, when you saw the numbers growing so
Yes.
quickly, and the enthusiasm of the people,
Yes.
that wants to walk, that they're there in the mornings when you tell them
Yes.
to be there, they go live when you
Yes.
live. What went through your head? Did you think, did I create a monster here? How am I going to deal with all these numbers? What are we going to do? Because it's challenging. There's
Yes.
challenges in everything you do.
Yes.
And obviously this is a challenge that brings results. It
Yes.
helps people with their health. It creates people, their body changes. Like you mentioned, Glynis, people is overweight now. They suddenly have found hope again.
Hope.
Is that what you have given the people?
I didn't know at that point it was giving that until the members starting giving feedback. There's many people that don't have the heart to post, but they would use my number and send me a WhatsApp. People that had a loss during COVID that would tell me, Colleen, I couldn't leave the house. I'm leaving the house now. We're meeting you on the corner here. Or and that kind of thing was such an inspiration. We even yesterday one of the people, Mandy David, said, it's more than a group. It is that hope factor that is there. Where even a 20-minute session, I'm showing them, can be an activity session where you don't have to go out for hours. You can just start. Let's start today. reinvent yourself, get going, and that is what it is about.
Refocus. That
That's
is the
it.
word that we must use. Refocus.
Refocus.
Lyla, talk to me about what makes you get up every time there's activity to go out there. What do you see yourself achieving? You in, and we're gonna say how can you don't need to, let's put it in this way. You look fit. You This, if I don't know why you actually go do all these walks and run, Eddie, when you look at Lila over there. But what makes you go out there all the time and say, I can't wait when there's an activity, when we're going to walk down at Musenberg, when we're going up Jacob's Ladder, when you're going to Westridge Gardens. What goes through your head and say, are you one of the leaders? Do you show the people? Do you encourage? What is your duty out there?
So, for me, basically, I take it as I get to enjoy time with my mom. And with Auntie Colleen, like I only met her this year, but I've learned so much from her. Coming as a junior in the type of career field that she is in, I've learned such a lot. And I, when doing Jacob's Ladder, I have encouraged a lot of people. We set new records, like Auntie Colleen states, with I out when walking up and coming back down. And I think it's just giving hope to people. Yes, I might be young, but also being fit. I can encourage maybe a youngster that feels like they can't go to a gym or go and join a fitness group because of what other people say. So I just feel like I can maybe help something and give them that little bit of extra push to be like, look, I might be overweight, but I can still go and enjoy myself, have fun, exercise, and it
Brilliant, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Glynis, your daughter mentioned so many beautiful words over there now. As a mom, as a parent, what does it mean to you to know that Lila is right behind you? Because I think she's behind you. She needs to be behind her mom. But what does it mean to, and I wish that there can be many more daughters that walk out there with their mom. But from your perspective, a personal perspective, what does it mean to you to know that Lila is right there behind you, doing what she loves and also motivating others?
It's a very proud moment for a mom when your daughter speaks of wanting to make a change, of wanting to make a difference, of being out there with me. It makes me very, very proud. And I always say that one day when I'm no longer around, I hope that she will continue to do what we are doing now with her family, because this is what we need. We need people to uplift each other. We need people to recognize that there is a breakdown in families. So for Lila to want to change, to want to make a difference, it's a very, very proud moment. I'm very proud of her, of what she stands for. And I think it's where we come from. Like you say, Bontebal, very proud of Bontebal. Bontebal has taught us that. And we've learned to help each other. That's what Bontebal is all about. That's what we're all about, is helping each other and being there for each other, supporting each other through good and bad times. So well done, Lila, and I hope she continues to do so. And yeah, it's just with a lot of love and support. But I used to be a mom screaming at the swimming gala on a sports field. I think Babuntico came out.
Who did she swim for?
She swam for Pan's primary.
Okay. Blauw dakke, rooi dakke?
Die blauw dakke.
Oh, die blauw dakke.
Die blauw dakke. En die ma se mond was die grootste.
You get lots of those moms around, don't worry. Colleen, I want to go back to you. The success stories of what Get Fit Nation has done to your team. Talk about some of your members that you are proud of, and I know you're proud of all of them, but there's always a couple that stand out, that one or two or 10 people that will be on your case all the time, because suddenly they go stand on the scale and they say, Colleen, I've lost 5 kilos. Now these type of people would never have thought it would have happened in their life. They most probably would have woke up in the morning, cup of tea, go watch all these new Turkish soap operas and Korean stuff that people watch these days, and then go back to their normal routine. Now suddenly they got a new zest for life, to put it that way.
A way to start.
Yeah, tell me about that success stories and what it means for that people.
I have had so many experiences and just see the changes in our members. One of our members that I'm very, very proud of is Laika Hendricks. Laika was actually one of my students when I was a teacher. And we're talking 20 years ago. Laika reconnected, joined Get Fit Nation. She's been active for 17 weeks. We also want to tell her to get well soon. We know that she's injured her shoulder now recently. Like Ika started off just walking with us. Every morning, like Ika sends me a message. Hi, Colleen, how are you? Colleen, what do you think I should do today? Eventually, like Ika did an assessment with me and she did a little eating plan ideas. She's eating healthy. She's doing her assessment. Like Ika walks every day. She started joining the MITS and does in Westridge Gardens. She does weekly boot camps now. Like Ika's running now after week 17. I just see the pictures. But now, not only that, like Ika is busy taking the kids in Lentegee, Mitchell's Plain with her. So she's taking the youth that is one day at home and one day at school on these walks. Like Ika is one of our examples. Another person is Islyn Kling. She was at Mondale and she was one of the athletes. And then life happens and Islyn is trying to come back and she's doing walks now where Islyn can walk up to 10 kilometers from 0 kilometers, which is amazing. Another member is April, who recently had an operation and a health scare. But Avril has started, and when Avril attends one of our walks, the entire family must come with cars and everything. The husband, the children, the grandma, the baby is there. So Avril is almost like she leads the pack. And those are the people. Lastly, we have Auntie Sumaya. Auntie Sumaya has dropped her sugar in such a way that she is now walking up to 10 and 12 Ks. To get to our walk, she walks 10 Ks. That's how far she lives. Then walks 5 Ks with me. That's our members.
So she almost walked 20 K.
Yes.
Colleen,
amazing.
I just want to ask you if any one of our listeners,
Yes.
want to start or join your organization.
Yes.
Is it like a central area where you meet, or
Yeah.
or the whole thousand, or all of them,
Yeah.
or is it in regions, or
Yeah.
just tell us about more about the
So,
operations of.
so most people would invite me on Facebook, but the main way to start is you search Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you search the word Get Fit Nation. And once you click on there, it will ask you to join. And we approve you, and all of our admins will approve you immediately. Then from there, we announce weekly. You would see we have these little ads. Are we walking in Muizenberg this week? We're walking in Sea Point. We're walking in Mitchell's Plain. And that is how we link up with the people. So we have boot camp starting as well. We have the walk session starting. And that is how we're meeting. Or you can contact me on 084-325-0583. If you cannot join on Facebook, or contact me, you can just search Get Fit with Colleen Cosette on YouTube. And there's 100 training sessions there, 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And it starts from week 1 to week 17. So you can actually follow what we did and see our progress live.
I just want to go about progress, and obviously it's amazing to see when you see a change in your body, a change in your fitness levels and stuff. How do you track 1,100 members, knowing everybody's capabilities, where their shortcomings is, what they need to do? Maybe there's a eating plan you need to put in place. How do you guys deal with that part?
Yeah. So what we do is they can either have an assessment done. In that way, I check them personally. Or what we do, people have their journeys. As people are following mine, I follow yours. So if you are out on a walk, I know that Peter Hartnick is going for a walk with his wife. I know that.
Why do you say his wife? Does he go walk with other women as well?
No.
I just want to make sure that we're on.
These two like to roast people. He takes a walk. I know Stephen, tomorrow morning we're joining Stephen at Newlands Forest for our first run.
Stevenson.
Kluti.
The
That's the
hiker.
Steven, the
He's
hiker.
very proud of himself.
Wow. And you know what's so wonderful? When we with Stephen, he makes sure we've got enough profile pics.
Oh.
We take 5-step smile. And then, so that is what we do. We track you by how you are sharing. And those that are not everybody is a going live person or going on Facebook.
Yeah.
People naturally send me their information. And some of them would even say, "Hi, Colleen, I won't be able to join you. I'm working late today." It's such kindness that we get. People feel they are taking ownership of their own health, and that is all we want to.
Absolutely. Tell me quickly about the hiking man. I saw him. He's obviously had a transformation.
Yes.
Because and I like to follow his story actually,
Yes.
because I always wondered how so many people can get involved in
Yes.
in Get Fit Nation, and how you actually the numbers has grown, but it's obviously that they've all improved in what they was doing.
they've
And what I like about it, it is not it is women that has been just
Everybody.
absolutely done nothing before,
Yes.
that goes out there, and they must be feeling so proud of themselves, because
proud.
there's a new, like I said, a new zest for life. There's something to
Yeah.
do. It's not the mom
Yeah.
that now just have to get up, say goodbye to the kids, do the laundry, clean the
Yes.
house. You suddenly have something else to do, and it's like you almost like extending a bit of a lifespan here.
A lifespan, and you know, it is people having a day with purpose. That is, I think, and you know, sometimes they phoning me and sending me a message at work. Then I think, hi, these people want to retrench me. They now out and about. They've arranged something. They're not even inviting us, Glynis. They're just going. And so, what I can't be everywhere. It's not about one person. It is about a Stephen who is a champion in his environment. Stephen sends me an invite. I join him. There's the MITS group already active. We join them when we can. The walking buddies join us on a walk. Glynis is doing something, we are invited, we go. At the end of the day, there's little clusters happening in all these areas, and then when it's time and we will all join up on one day. We look forward to that day.
Oh, absolutely. And Glynis, I know you guys are so excited, and it's a pity we're not live. I always say sometimes people need to see the excitement of people that is doing well. But how do you control this new craze, the Get Fit Nation craze? 1,100 members, and I call it a craze because it's going to get more. It's just getting crazy about how many people is going to join you, because like running has taken off over this many years. I have lots of friends who run and are doing well, and they run every day. They just want to run. It's like and I know running has been hard hit by the pandemic, you know.
Yes.
But how are you guys gonna control it? And you've mentioned the various aspects. You're either gonna do your Get Fit exercises in the mountain,
Yes.
like Mr. Kluti, or you're gonna be a walking buddy,
Yes.
or whatever you do. How do you bring that whole 1,100 people together and know this is the Get Fit Nation, but we still have the same goals all the time? How do you guys deal with that?
So number one is we made sure that we have our identity, and the brand is what we were going for, and people recognize us already now if we
No,
gone our walks.
definitely.
And they also know, you know, Stephen Kluti always tells me, Colleen, don't you have an inside voice? Because I'm a bit loud in areas where I should be very soft. So they hear us, the noise level, especially on Jacobs, they keep telling me, I don't know why. Shh, Colleen, shh. So our brand identity is the first thing. And then we make sure that we have these champions that are operating in the various areas. And then when we can, we have live events. And one of the events we're planning, if we are allowed to, is the 9th of August, the Women's Day event. That will be our first step. And the next one would be on the 24th of September. That's a dates And Glynis and I actually spoke about that to get our sponsors and people who are interested, get the members together, maybe have a dance, Zumba, health outdoors event, and that is how we would get them together, as well as maybe have our first live walk or join other walks in the, like Eddie said, we will be joining the Masters Athletics and doing a 5K walk. All the ladies, they just don't know it yet. So on the 29th of May, and from there we will go to the Fulek walking group in Kells River, and there we will have an outdoor Zumba session with them. And because there's quite a number of members, over 100 members there as well. That's how we, by linking up, connecting and joining with people.
Colleen, tell me, you've created a monster for fitness, basically. How does Colleen Cosette feel about what you've achieved in such a short time? And obviously, I can tell you this is just going to get bigger, because one of these days you got to call the local disaster management team, the traffic department, and say we're going on a walk. Because you can't just go on a walk on the road with 1,100 people. But it's going to grow in such a manner that you have to do those things. You've got to think ahead. You've got to tell the authorities we're going to walk down Musenberg. Make sure you got traffic cops monitoring us, the safety aspect.
All of that.
You've created something, and monster is maybe a good word in this sense, because you've basically waken up the dead, to put it that way. You've awakened the muscles of people that has gone quiet, people that has thought, I'll just sit around now till the end of time, and suddenly they've arisen, to put it that way.
They are going with us.
What is the vision that Colleen Cosette is looking at for Get Fit Nation in the next couple of months or a year from now?
I think my life has prepared me for this as an educator, working for Northlink College and just doing community events here and there. I was able to, like you said, now have that event plan. I had to do it before, meaning I have that experience to do it. And I think to bring all of this together, it is going to be for me a place where people can be themselves and we can inspire others and we can move forward from there. Because I know there is going to be events and I know this monster is growing and it's growing so big and so fast. But I think together we can do this. And that is what it is about. Goosebumps moments here in the studio, and thank you just for this opportunity. We couldn't have done it.
I just want to go to Glynis, and then I want Lyla to give her final word on this. Obviously, there's kids also involved. It's parents, some can't leave their kids at home for various reasons. How do you guys accommodate the younger children that needs to be on that walk, that needs to be with mom and dad, who needs to be with their parents, so that they can all get involved?
Now, that is why we want to invite and actually challenge more of our teenagers to come along, to be like little babysitters. So when mom is walking ahead, and that we will take care of your kids while you walk, creating that secure environment and creating that family and re-establishing family values, actually. So that's what we plan on doing for the future. And I think one of these days, Colleen, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. We're going to be challenging all the gyms.
Yes.
A cheaper way of getting fit and staying healthy.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
I just want to say to the listeners that you look at the three ladies in the studio, and Eddie, at you as well. It's just a breath of fresh air. The healthy look on their faces. They are absolutely beautiful in the studio. And Lyla, as one of the younger members, you obviously need to take this further over the many years, because when Colleen and your mom is maybe not around to do all the hard work, how proud are you to be a member of Get Fit Nation?
I'm actually so proud and grateful to be a member of Get Fit Nation. Like what Colleen has told me, at the end of this year, hopefully I would be a personal trainer, qualified personal trainer already. So Auntie Colleen's already paving that way for me and allowing me to join her group. And I think that I would definitely want to build on the legacy that she and other members have already started.
Oh, Oh, you're going to be a great leader. And that is what this group is actually creating, leaders amongst leaders. And that is the beauty of it. It's not a Colleen Cosette or a Glynis Pland.
Yeah.
It's a group of people that is a leader in their own right. They're all leaders because in the end, you lead your lifestyle. You decide, I get up this morning, I'm going to walk 5, I'm going to go to Muizenberg, I'm going to meet the team in Westridge Gardens or wherever, because you're your leader. You lead yourself. And that is how makes you guys successful. Colin, the last word, Eddie, is there the last word we're going to leave with you is that what does the future hold? You've started something amazing. How do you deal with it going forward? I mean, I look at you this evening, and I know when I asked you to come into the interview, I said to Eddie earlier, when I don't think I even finished typing and says, you want to come on? He said, when? What time? And you were there. Tell us about that feeling that is still in you. You got so much life in you. You're excited. You're enthusiastic. You are a proper leader. And it is just so great that you have founded the Get Fit Nation. But obviously it's growing, and Colleen needs to grow with what's happening.
Exactly. So the next step for me is, it's not about just about the fitness. It's about uplifting. It's about for us to go back to where we come from. I love the way you guys said it. You Pontyville, I'm Elsie's with Eddie, but also Mitchell's Plain, because we moved there. And wherever we go, we need to inspire and uplift. And for us at Get Fit Nation, and for me as well, I think I was struggling for years about just bringing this personality of mine. I was hiding, and I don't want to do that. And I want our members to know they must be themselves and do what they have to do for themselves. And I think with that attitude, nothing can stop you. Nobody can stop us. And the next step for us is we're working on our group events. We're making sure that we grow our membership, and we are inviting you to search for Get Fit Nation on Facebook. Join us, the Eddies of the world. We will welcome you. Thank you, Nazim.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I wish the listeners could see how happy you are in the studio and the life that you have portrayed out here this evening. I can just say thank you for coming in, Colleen, Glynis, and Lyla. You have made us proud. You have lightened up the studio tonight. It feels like if we have gone through a 45-minute session of fitness here, Eddie. So we've done our fitness for the week, Eddie. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Colleen. We wish you guys everything of the best with Get Fit Nation. And we're on board already. You just need to tell me, Nazim, meet me down at Muizenberg. We're going to do Jacob's Ladder, and we'll bring Khalid and Eddie with, and I lead them. I've done it twice, so let me lead them up there, because then I'm the leader of them, and they can lead somebody else again, because I think that is the idea of Get Fit Nation. We thank you for coming in this evening. Absolutely amazing to have you with us this evening. Well, we've come to the end of another edition of the award-winning Sports Days. We want to congratulate Leicester City on winning the FA Cup, beating Chelsea by 1-0. We'd like to thank our in-studio guests, the Get Fit Nation of Colleen Cosette, Glynis Pland, and Lyla Pland. Also like to thank my technical team of Said Zuma and Faiza Daniels and Hassan Kamildin, who's leaving us. He won't be with us on a Saturday night anymore. And to my co-presenter, Eddie Bedger. And to all our listeners, wherever you are this evening, we sincerely hope that you have enjoyed tonight's edition of the award-winning Sports Desk. From me, your host, Nazim White, and the entire Sports Desk crew, we say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good night. Until next time, it's goodbye. And that's the end. Oh, we can go on all night. We normally go till, we normally go to 1:45. I'm just doing you guys a favor tonight.
Because you're a member, man.
Member of the Get Fit Nation.
Have a Get Fit Nation evening, everyone.
My dad, that was my dad. But you know, Ali,